there's something you don't notice until you get away. For weeks, months, or even years, you live connected to networks like Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok, navigating through an endless stream of opinions, conflicts, aspirational images, and discussions that seem, well, vital. You don't realize how much it affects you until you stop, until you decide, even just for a few days, to turn it off. Then it happens. The world suddenly becomes, larger. Anxiety is low. The head feels less saturated. You realize that many of the things that seemed urgent are actually not. That many of the battles waged in your mind came from an artificial place, a space designed to amplify what most upsets you. For example, that not all immigrants are going to assault you, nor are all men evil beings, nor are all women superficial, or that the person being left, right, liberal, or any other ideology is open to a peaceful dialogue, contrary to what the internet always shows you. This is the first uncomfortable truth about social networks. They are not designed to inform you or to entertain you healthily or to show you the real world. They are designed to manipulate you, to create biases and thus maximize your attention. Digital platforms don't earn money when you log out. They don't win when you talk face-to-face with someone or when you go for a walk without your phone. They win when you're hooked, when you slip, when you comment, when you get angry and argue. So everything in them is made to keep you inside. Recent studies on behavioral neuroscience confirm this. Social networks exploit the same brain circuits used by slot machines. It's no coincidence that updating the feed is like pulling a lever, just waiting for a reward. Every like, every comment, every notification is a small dose of dopamine. What was once a space for sharing ideas has become, an emotional casino. But there is something even more evil than addiction. It's the way networks decide what emotions to feed to maximize their user retention. A study published by the MIT in 2020 showed that fake news and controversial content are shared 70% more than real or neutral news. Conclusion: the controversy is profitable. The algorithm has no morals. It only rewards what generates interaction, and nothing generates more interaction than anger, indignation, or fear. And this is something that anyone who creates content realizes, especially on platforms like Twitter or X, Instagram, and so on. The healthy, normal content does not generate attention. Content with strong ideological bias or forceful phrases instead is a route to virality. Think about it. How many times in the middle of a quiet day did you go to Twitter or Instagram and come out angry, frustrated, or feeling less? And even worse, how many times did that emotion make you stay longer, read more, argue more? This is exactly what the business model of networks feeds on. They don't just hook you, they mold you. They transform you without your noticing into someone more reactive, more anxious, more prone to comparison and hostility. The neural network of these platforms quickly learns what you're outraged about and serves it to you on a plate, over and over again. And that is why many, taking breaks, feel a real improvement in their mood and worldview. By leaving the artificial cycle of indignation, they recover something that they had forgotten: silence, perspective, the possibility of thinking without external noise. For a long time, there was a naive belief that social media is not real life, that what happens in those spaces stays there like a game between strangers. Today, we know that this idea is not only false, but dangerous. Networks are no longer a distorted reflection of society. They are an active part of it, although, fortunately, they are not yet the real world. What is said, thought, and shared has real consequences. In recent years, we have seen platforms go from being simple places to share photos or thoughts to becoming real public courts. The dynamics of digital lynching and cancellation are no longer marginal phenomena. They are common practices. An unfortunate tweet, a video taken out of context, or an unpopular opinion is enough for a person to be dragged into a defenseless trial. A judge does not need to pronounce judgment. The mass does, and the punishment can be devastating. Loss of employment, destruction of reputation, and even social ostracism. The case of Justine Sacco in 2013 is one of the best-known examples, although today it already seems part of digital prehistory. Sacco, a public relations executive, posted a sarcastic and insensitive tweet before boarding a flight. When she landed, she had already been fired, and her name was a worldwide trend. Since then, thousands of similar cases have continued to occur with increased frequency and intensity. But it's not just about individual scratches. Social networks have also begun to play a direct role in political and legal processes. Facebook, for example, was the protagonist of the Cambridge Analytica scandal in 2018, where it was revealed that data were used to design campaigns of disinformation and emotional manipulation during elections, including the Brexit referendum and presidential elections in the United States. The 2019 UK Parliament report left no doubt data misuse, and the spread of fake news put democratic integrity at risk. Emotional manipulation, based on ideological and cultural segmentation, was the weapon. And social media was the battlefield. In countries like the UK, the impact has gone beyond the electoral. In 2023, there were multiple cases of citizens arrested or sanctioned for posts on X, formerly Twitter, that the authorities considered offensive or hateful. While some of these cases involved clearly illegal messages, others entered grey areas where freedom of expression was severely challenged. A report by the Big Brother Watch organization published that year warned of the growing use of vague laws to silence uncomfortable speeches on social media, eroding fundamental principles of liberal democracy. Meanwhile, in the United States, racial and social tensions have been amplified by networks. The phenomenon is not new, but, it has reached a new level with the constant viralization of isolated videos that are used to reinforce extreme narratives on one side or the other. Each incident becomes a symbol, and accounts and media with ideological agendas select what to show and hide to support their version of reality. Studies such as the one published by the Pew Research Center in 2022 show that social media news consumption tends to reinforce ideological bubbles, and that people exposed exclusively to these environments show significantly higher levels of polarization. Echo chambers, which once only reinforced opinions within small groups, are now genuine weapons of social division. The algorithms are designed for that. Showing you what you like is profitable, but showing you what you hate and infuriates is even more lucrative. Instagram, for example, has been widely criticized for its effect on mental health. A report leaked by the Wall Street Journal in 2021 revealed that the company itself knew that its platform made body image problems worse for teens. The document stated that, and I quote, "Instagram makes 32% of teenage girls feel worse about their bodies. Despite this, the network kept going, knowing that this feeling of inadequacy kept users coming back for approval." This can be seen with many modern aesthetic surgeries, where it is increasingly common for clients to use their own images with filters as a reference to operate. It's no longer just that social networks make you waste time or fill your head with irrelevant garbage. They have become active tools of political manipulation, social manipulation, and emotional manipulation. And honestly, the worst part is that much of this power is exercised in an opaque way, without users being fully aware of how they are guided, segmented, and radicalized in real time. When one distances oneself from these spaces, the difference becomes apparent. No longer being exposed to constant polarization and summary judgments gives you a perspective that, seemed lost. What was urgent and pressing in the networks outside of them is revealed as anecdotal, or at least much less important than it seemed. Leaving the networks is not to disconnect you, it is to reconnect. It's, remembering how silence sounds without notifications, how a thought that hasn't been pushed by trends or algorithms actually feels, and how it is to look at oneself without the distorted mirror of edited lives. For too long, we've been led to believe that being informed is always present on the net, that, opinion is a duty, that silence is surrender. But the truth is, many times the greatest act of freedom is not to enter the game. Don't offer your emotions to the highest bidder. not participating in the daily war that leaves you with nothing but fatigue and a version of yourself that you don't even recognize. Social media is not neutral. They are factories of division, chambers of resonance of hatred, showcases of endless comparison. They make you feel inadequate, indignant or isolated because honestly, it sells better. But out there, in life that is not measured in trending topics or likes, all that matters much less. Turning off the nets even for a while is to come back. It is giving your mind permission not to react to everything. It is to realize, maybe with some relief, that the world continues to turn, even if you are not giving your opinion about it every 5 minutes.